What's up guys, welcome to your 20th Python tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to build your first actual program. So finally we're done testing stuff out. I taught you guys all the basics, taught you guys all you need to know. Now we're going to actually be building useful stuff. So the first thing I want to teach you guys is something called the if statement. Now what the if statement does is, in plain terms, it checks if a test is true, a test or condition as they're called. And if it's true, it's going to execute a certain block of code. But if your test is false or it's not true, then it's not going to execute the code at all. And this is how in computer language you can get your computer to do a certain thing if a certain condition is met. But you can get to skip something if another condition is met or if it isn't met. So it's a lot easier just to show you guys, and I'll talk you guys through it if I do. So go ahead and open up your file, new window, and this will bring up your new I don't know what it's called, just as whatever program you use to write Python in. And again, remember you have to save it before you run it, just a little reminder. So once you got that up, you're ready to start writing your actual programs. So let me first get a variable. So let's write something called tuna, and you can set it to equal to anything you want. I'm going to set mine equal to fish. And notice when you press enter in this, it doesn't automatically run because you're actually writing a real Python program right now, not just goofing around. So next I want to tell you guys about the if statement. Now again, the syntax for the if statement is simply if. And after you write if, you want to give Python a test. Now let's go ahead and give the only test we can to see if tuna is equal to fish. So let's go ahead and write tuna, and when you're testing you use two equal signs instead of one. When you use one equal signs, it means you're having a variable and setting it to a value, and we're not getting a variable and setting it to a value, we're just testing if it's the value right now. So let's test if that variable is equal to fish. Now after your test, what you have to do in every condition is write a colon, not a semicolon, just a regular colon. Then once you're done with your test in your if statement, go ahead and press enter. Now under your if statement, here's what's going to happen. If this test is true, which it is, tuna is equal to fish, you're going to want to give it a piece of code to execute. So let's go ahead and give it a certain piece of code. Let's give it something real simple. Print a statement. Make it single quotes. Print, this is a fish. Alright. So if tuna equals fish, which it does, we want you to print out, this is a fish alright. And another thing that I want you guys to take note of before I run this program, as you can see, this little piece of code is indented right here. Whenever you press enter after this sign, it automatically indents. And your indentation is your way of telling Python, alright, whenever we indent, this is the piece of code we want you to execute during our if statement. Anything that's not indented is completely different than the if statement and something else. And this is very important to Python, and you'll be seeing this a lot later on. So let me go ahead and run this block of code, and I'll talk you guys through after I do, I guess. So go ahead and press 5. It's going to give you, F5, and it's going to give you that. And you're going to get this little statement. This is a fish alright. So this statement was true, and it ran that block of code and printed that out. So as you can see, this is what it printed. And let me tell you guys one more time why this happened. We have a variable, tuna, and set it equal to fish. We wrote, alright, we're going to give you a test. If tuna is equal to fish, we want you to do something. We want you to print out this statement. This is a fish alright. But if it's not equal to fish, we don't want you to do anything at all. And let me show you guys what would happen if fish was something else. Say if tuna was equal to bass, what would happen? So go ahead and press F5, save it, and as you can see, when it runs this time, nothing happens. So that's kind of the basics of the if statement. If your test is true, it's going to run this piece of code that's directly indented underneath it. If it's not true, it's going to say, alright, I'm not running this, just move on to the next line and skip it altogether. So again, to summarize this, Your if statement takes a piece, or excuse me, your if statement takes a test and tests it. If the test is true, it's going to execute the block of code under it. And if it's not true, it's not going to do anything at all. So again, this syntax is very important, where you say if, test, colon, and don't forget that colon, and also don't forget to indent. And once you remember those simple things, you are ready to write basic if statements. So this is your very first intro to an actual program. So in the next tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to do something else that's really cool. So don't forget to watch for my next tutorial. So again, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.